So, we would like to start the panel with a Native American blessing from the Shaman native, Chris Lachea. He is head of Native American Studies at the Supernatural University and one of the stars of the Supernatural University. Chris, take it away. That was awesome. We have here today a group representing the Supernatural University, a transmedia universe, and the first feature film in this series, Lycan. This is a big deal, guys. The Transmedia universe includes 5 feature films, a TV show, reality show, new media show, video game, NFT project, metaverse, augmented reality, collectibles, and online apps. This is why I'm reading from the script. There's no way I can do this. This is going to be bigger than Marvel, mark my words. And you guys are getting to hear about it first at Fandom Invasion.
Yes.
Okay, introductions. Again, lots of people. Mackenzie Van Dorn Rice. Mackenzie, where are you? Right there. Mackenzie is an award-winning manager, creator, and producer of the Supernatural University, Lycan, and the entire Transmedia universe. Is this speaker right there? You need to get away from the speaker. All right, Zach Thompson, where's Zach? There, hi, Zach. Zach is an award-winning creator, producer of the Supernatural University, Lycan, and the entire Transmedia universe. Nell Tier. Hello, Nell, right there, Nell. Nell is an award-winning Netflix director and director of the feature film Lycan. Zachary Alexander Rice, aka Zach Rice TV. Zach is a teen influencer and top 1% TikTok partner. Also an award-winning actor with over 38 projects under his belt. He's a paranormal investigator and lead researcher for the Supernatural University. He is starring in both Supernatural University and the feature film Lycan. Okay, I'm going to try and announce this one. I don't want the big guy to come off the stage after me here. Kalameke Misapika. He is a researcher and professor of Pacific Island Studies from the Supernatural University. He is an actor that played The Rock's brother, I see that, and many other prominent roles. He is starring in the Supernatural University. Next up we have Nevin Casorio. Nevin is an influencer / actress and a researcher in training at the Supernatural University. She assists on paranormal investigations. She is starring in the Supernatural University. Next we have Jack Carlisle. Jack is an actor and head of the film crew for location investigations with the Supernatural University and stars in the Supernatural University universe. And finally we have Georgia Reed. She is the voice of Chromia in the Transformers series. Okay, we've got some questions for you guys. This is for the creators of Supernatural University, Mackenzie and Zach. What was the inspiration behind Supernatural University? Please share the mics.
Go for it. Sure.
I'll start off. Okay, can you guys hear me? Is this good volume? So I started off. I'm a fan of. I've been coming to Comic-Cons and conventions for probably 15 years now. And me and my older brother, who are actually in the film industry for a while, we've been going as fans and always like, you know, geeking out at all the different universes and whatnot. It actually originated years ago when we were actually driving from our hotel to the convention there in San Diego, and we were like, why hasn't anybody created a university where you can learn about paranormal and aliens and all sorts of fun phenomenology, all sorts of fun things. And so that's where it actually originated from. And on our logo is 1692, and that originated. This is kind of an homage to my great grandmother, who was hanged as in the Salem witch trials as a witch, and in real life. And so, as an homage to her, we the date 1692 is actually where came with that number. So there's a lot of interesting and fun Easter eggs and a lot of history. But that's actually how the whole thing started. So it started off as an online university where we're teaching about all these fun different things, and then we expanded into television, and now we've got movies and a whole huge transmedia universe. So we're kind of like a real life Hogwarts. We're like this, an actual university where people can actually get degrees, but it's also interconnected with the TV series. So anyway, we're partnering with Mackenzie, and we've just created this immense transmedia universe. But Mackenzie is just like this mastermind, and you wouldn't believe the stuff it's coming out. In fact, we didn't even want to share everything because I don't think everybody would be able to digest all that we have to share. But it's going to be fun.
What's really fun is that we've blurred the line between reality and fiction. So these people have real online personalities, that you'll get to know them, and then that will carry on into the stories that we tell. So it makes it a very interesting mix. And like you said, we have video games, we have all kinds of fun things coming out. NFTs, I mean, it's going to be absolutely incredible. You guys are going to love it so much.
So that's actually why we wanted to actually release here first, because it's about the fans, and we're fans, and so we wanted to actually get input and want the diehards to be able to be a part of it and get first access to everything we're doing. And so hopefully you guys have signed up, because you guys are going to get first access to everything as we move forward. It's going to be huge.
Lots of freebies and lots of fun things. So make sure you sign up, go to our website, and make sure you give us your email. Okay, we're going to have so much fun.
Awesome. I'm just curious, would you categorize Supernatural University as like historical fiction, so it's fictional stories based on things that have happened in the real world?
Yes, exactly. So
that's great.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly, yeah. So all, like, if you've heard of Bob Lazar, if you've heard of, abductions, like from around the world, Bigfoot sightings, conspiracy theories, like, so we just cover all of it and just express it, not as not to claim as a real or not. We just present everything that's been claimed, and there's just all sorts of phenomenology. There's all sorts of, everything from like spontaneous combustion, just the bizarre, unexplained things that happen in the world. It's like a clearinghouse of information in our university, and you get to learn about all sorts of things that I promise you've never heard of that actually are real claims in real life.
That's awesome. That sounds really exciting. Can you explain what a transmedia universe is?
Okay, so we kind of hit on that. I mean, it encompasses everything. So we have a television show, we have a reality show, we have movies, video games. It's going to be everything. We even have something called an ARG, which is like an alternate reality game. So that you can go online, it's like a treasure hunt, and you can find clues, you can win prizes. So it's going to be so expansive. We actually are going to build a real university in Las Vegas, so you'll be able to visit that and be able to buy merchandise and do all kinds of fun things in there. So it's going to be incredible.
Okay, I for one love going to Vegas. Do you have any more details on that? Like where it's going to be or when it's going to open or anything?
VIP.
It'll be a few years. We have to actually build the foundation. So it started off as an online university, but again, this is everybody here is getting first access to even know all the stuff that's coming. So.
That's fantastic. The fan base that you already have is pretty amazing. Can you explain how you've created fan base before you've released any content or had a show or anything?
Right, that's a really good question. The one thing is, we have a lot of influencers that are involved. Zach, for one, Zach's got millions of fans, he's got a huge reach, and he's around a lot of other kids who are influencers. And that has sort of started the ball rolling ahead of time. So not only do we have influencers, but we have well-known actors too. So with their fan bases, we've already got everybody excited. So it's turned into something much bigger than we ever could have imagined.
In addition, which is actually really kind of funny, is for years, people actually somehow stumbled upon us before we've even advertised. We've actually had thousands of people, thousands of followers, and thousands of people that have actually just somehow come across the supernaturaluniversity.com, or found us on the social medias and whatnot, and little by little, just people have been following. It's, of course, that was just before we started bringing in all the social media influencers.
Yeah, that was one of the interesting things to me. I do a lot of social media, do all the social for the event and the club and stuff. And when we first learned that you guys were coming, first thing I did was go to your website, go to your Twitter, go to your Instagram. Somehow you guys had like 4,000 followers on Instagram and 1 follower on Twitter. It was very interesting to me. Like, how did everybody find you guys on Instagram and on Twitter? I don't know, but your website is really cool. I think your social media presence right now, it looked to me like you kind of put a bunch of stuff up to kind of lay the foundation.
That's what it is.
And haven't been active since, but it's there as a start.
Exactly.
And I don't know, do any of you do the social media for Supernatural University, or want to
actually,
talk about your plans and your theory for social and promoting the Supernatural University?
Exactly. We're just starting that. I mean, there was so much to do with the movies and the television planning, and now that we're just now coming out, we're building that. So we've got people that will be doing that. So if you stay on our social media, you'll be able to keep up to date on everything. So be good.
Okay, cool. Zach, can you explain your role in this project and how you became interested in all things supernatural?
Sure, can you hear me? Awesome,
I hear you.
You see my ugly face? Yeah, I got into everything paranormal and supernatural after the passing of my grandmother. I was super close to her. She was my best friend, and I wanted to communicate with her after she passed away. So I reached out to an evidential medium. His name is Mark Anthony. He reached the burden of truth, the scientific burden of truth. And he's a professor at the Supernatural University, and when we had our over-the-phone reading, it was just so powerful and it was so true, and I could tell this was the real deal. And he led me on to the Supernatural University, and we hit it off as friends. He led me on to it, and I've been here ever since.
That's awesome. Zach, again, starting out as a gaming influencer, how do your fans relate to your interest in Supernatural?
I was really nervous at first. I was thinking they wouldn't probably accept the change if I'm making Minecraft gaming content. I mean, how would my fans accept that?
I was going to ask you what you did on social media prior to Supernatural University.
Yeah, I made gaming content. Yeah, that's what I did because I love video games. And they were really supportive of it. I told them this is what I'm into. I told them I'm not trying to convince them of anything. I'm just giving them the facts. Here's the evidence. Here's the proof. And they're really catching on to it. A lot of my fans are moving on to my second account, which I can more focus on supernatural stuff, and it's been a really big success. Thanks.
That's really cool. I mean, as somebody who does a lot of social media, the whole idea of utilizing influencers and Instagram and TikTok, and I don't have TikTok myself. My fiance has TikTok. She pretty much uses it to look like dog videos. She's always showing me, look at this dog video.
Those are good videos.
But it really can be a powerful tool for promoting a product like this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, this one's for Nell.
Okay.
You are an acclaimed director and director of the new feature film, Lycan. We hear that there will be A-list actors in the film. Can you disclose who they are? Ooh, big reveal.
Oh.
He's just gonna say no.
No.
Ah.
Well, we can't right now. I mean, obviously that will be something very, very fun. You guys will all be very pleased when we do make that announcement. But I won't tell you now. Yes.
Okay, can you describe for us the feel of the film, and why did you decide to take on this project, and also how does it connect to the upcoming films?
Oh, very interesting. So, gosh, the feel of this film, it's a wonderfully grounded creature movie, right? So it's sort of everything that I loved growing up about films like Legend or Labyrinth or Never-Ending Story. So you have real people who are experiencing real life things, but it's surrounded in sort of that mysterious unknown. And I mean, we live in a universe that right? Anything is possible, right? And it sort of speaks to that, and it gets me excited. Will hopefully get you guys excited. But I think the tone of it is that like the excitement of the unknown being knowable somehow, which is what I love about creature movies in the first place. You're gonna have to remind me the rest of these questions.
No, that's fine. As I was reading it off, I thought this is too much for doing it once. Okay, so why did you decide to take on this project?
Oh my God. Well, I love the people involved, obviously, and I'm a storyteller, and it's interesting coming up in the world the way that I did. I haven't gotten to do a lot of genre work. I've done some things, some YA things, and I realized after reading this and meeting everybody that this is exactly who I am. I grew up like dressing up every day at my house and going into the woods and imagining that some meteor had fallen and I was this lost princess from some other solar system, and you know what I mean? So I'm like, well, duh, this is exactly what I should do. So I was very excited to do it. Love creatures, love the unknown, love anything mysterious.
Awesome. And the third question was, how does this film connect to the upcoming films?
Okay, so what's wonderful about the way that this all sort of works together, we've got all these different films coming up, these 4 films. They're going to connect together and sort of speak to the mythology that we all kind of live in and what this world is all about. So they will propel us into the TV series. So they all connect to each other through the specific lore of what we're going to be delivering to your brains soon.
That's really exciting. I had a quick question myself. You guys all really seem to love hanging out with each other, and
Yeah.
I'm sure this must be exciting right now with this being a new project. How long have you all known each other? How long has this team been in place?
That's a wonderful
This question's for anybody that wants to answer it.
I think I am the newest. And I was directing Zach in a dub. Anyone watch Squid Game or anything like that? Okay, so I didn't direct that dub. There were issues with that dub. But I do direct a lot of dubs for Netflix, and Zach has come in for me a few times. And unbeknownst to me, he threw my name in the hat, and then these two stalked me online and read and watched things, and then all of a sudden I got a call from my manager that said, "We have a meeting." And I said, "Meeting, okay." And so that's how I came to the whole group. But I'll let
She's not ever getting away. We love her.
So,
I have to elaborate on that, because the thing is, like, we're finally in a position where we can surround ourselves with people that we enjoy being around. I think we've all worked on projects where there's not necessarily the optimal situation. We wanted to create that. So Mackenzie and I have literally just been surrounding ourselves with people that we enjoy working with, that are talented, that are great storytellers, and so we've been very fortunate that we've been able to actually build that, and we do enjoy hanging around each other, and it has been fun that we've been able to now bring Nell in, because she's one of us. She's comes from the same place. She's a fan, just like all of us. We enjoy good stories, and we get to tell good stories. So we're all a bunch of different puzzle pieces to be a part of that. So yeah, it's actually been really fun. In fact, I guess Mackenzie could actually tell more about how long you've known everybody.
So I've been a manager for a very long time, and most of these are actors that I've loved and represented and called them my kids. So there's my older son there.
Yeah, we're brothers.
And Chris is my son too. So anyway, we've known each other for years and years and dreamed of doing this, and it's all finally come to fruition. So we are blessed. Definitely.
I just want to say, it's when you come to these conventions, you feel like you found your family, right? I've walked around so often, I felt like I don't fit in, and then I come to places like this, and I'm like, oh, my people. And I've met you and you and you and you and you and you this morning, and I feel like we're all friends now. I haven't met you two yet in the back, making the faces, but I'll meet you eventually. But that's the thing. Some of these people I did just meet recently, but we're all on the same page. And she just mentioned Labyrinth and Neverending Story. Easy, definitely a friend.
Welcome to the Con family. We definitely feel that way. That's why we put on the show in the first place. The next question is for the Shaman Native. So Chris, love this guy. This guy is the real deal. Such a sweet human being. You are the head of Native American Studies at the university. Do you feel that the Supernatural University is a good platform for educating and exposing the public to Native American beliefs, and why?
Well, being Native, we have a hard time expressing these stories. This is a great platform that we can bring to everybody and share what we have in here. So, with that being said, I can't wait to share what we have in here with all of you. Thank you. I hope I answered it correctly.
So this has been a huge dream of mine for a long time. As I've been so fortunate to travel the world and just appreciate all of so many different cultures and the beauty and the diversity that exists in all these different cultures. As we've been dreaming this up for years, creating the Supernatural University, it was the venue where we could actually then showcase, Polynesian, cultural studies and Native, First Nations peoples, and Asian. There's Indian, like Africa. We have the lore from all over the world, and I think it's fun because it just brings everybody together and it gets to showcase actual mythos and legends and cryptids, abduction, all sorts of fun stuff from every different culture, from all over the world. So it's kind of a unifying factor.
Great. Next one is for Kalameke. He's got to stop taking selfies over there. Pull the mic over. Similar question for you, being brought up in Samoa, there are many cultural beliefs and supernatural happenings being reported. Have you ever witnessed paranormal or supernatural events?
Well, before it became, I'm a very faithful person. I love God with all my heart. And before I start, I would like to say something really quick in my own native tongue. E mumona mau na si le viinga ma whaftai le li. O le nei avanoa futai tātou le pokolama. I just want to praise God first before I begin with what I have to say. And with that being said, please repeat the question.
Have you ever witnessed paranormal or supernatural events?
Okay, for everyone that can hear me, I don't believe in these kind of things. I don't believe in the supernatural things and all of these things. But I can tell you the truth. And in my culture, I can't speak of anything after 6 o'clock because things happen. In my experience living in the islands, many things happen. Many different things happen. They happened when I was small, they happened when I got older. Things happened to me directly. Like I said, I don't believe in these things, but I can only speak the truth of things that I've saw. People with no legs, people walking in the middle of the night, people coming down the mountain and then disappearing, people jumping into other people. Sometimes the wind blowing is not really the wind blowing. There's certain things that you have to do and watch out. You can't wear your hair long at night. I have a beanie on because we're not allowed to let our hair grow long and touch the nape of our neck. We can get punished from the village. So there's a lot of things that we have to abide by in order for us to be able to continue living where we live in the islands. But I can tell you that the experiences that we have on the island are the same experiences that other people go through around the world. And we all handle things differently. And how we approach these things that we call the supernatural. For me, it's not supernatural, it's just the truth. We handle things different in Samoa, we handle things different in Hawaii. For my brother here, things are handled different here. Depending on what part of the world we're from, we experience the same things. But the approach on how we handle the experience that we have are always different but the results come about the same. So although we're separate, we're still the same. We just do things differently. We go through the same experiences. In the end, that's what the Supernatural University is about. We come together to share our experiences as individuals, but we bring it together as a family so that we can come up with the solution that someone else out there might be looking for. And this is the platform that we provide. I would like to say thank you to my mom, Mackenzie, my brother, Zach, and the rest of the, I feel like I'm in school, the faculty and staff of the Supernatural University. But all aside, we need each other as we take these steps together from whatever part of the world we're from. We share the same experiences, and these experiences, when we use the platform, help us to solve different things that we're going through in life, things that we question, things that we don't see, things that are unknown, but the same problems. So for that, on top of that, with this, I would also very, very much like to show my appreciation and my love, my aloha to Fandom Invasion for blessing us with being a part of this panel as well as a part of this program. And thank you so much for doing this, because it's needed for a lot of us who need to step out to be who we really need to be without being anywhere else that we don't need to be, if you know what I mean. Okay, thank you so much. I love you all. Bless.
All right.
I know that was kind of fun.
The next one is for Georgia. Where's Georgia? Hiding in the back there. You are a lecturer and teacher at the Supernatural University. What is the interest level of your students? Why do you think there's a spike in our society in all things supernatural?
It's interesting. I used to teach ballet. I was a ballet dancer, professional ballet dancer actually, it was my first career. And I noticed a lot of little kids come, and it's very cute, they're little tutus and things, but they're there because their parents want them to be there, right? But as we grow older and become adults, we really get to choose what we want to study. And what I love about this university is that everyone who comes here wants to be here because they're looking for answers, or maybe they're looking for questions. So the interest level is high because be it one person or 10 person or 1,000 people, which there are so many, they all want to be at this university. They're not just there because their mom and dad threw down money and said you have to go and be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, right? And as far as part two of your question, I think we've all become really disenfranchised, right, as of late. And sometimes it's hard to believe there's still magic in the world, but I have a very different story from our friend over here who believes deeply in God and has a lot of faith. I was raised in a household where I was raised with a Christian God that was forced down my throat, and I was taught not to ask questions. If you ask questions, you don't believe in God. So of course I ask questions. So I am someone who has chosen not to necessarily believe in God. I'm open to someone proving me wrong, but I am on a journey to discover what else is there. And I want to encourage my students to question it too. And if you come to the conclusion that there is a God, that's great. You don't need to force everyone else to believe it as well, right? As he said, we are all on our own path, and we are all actually discovering the same things in our own way. So it's a really exciting time for everyone here. So I think that's where things are going with the supernatural. I have experiences all the time. I have family members who are guarding me, guiding me. I have dreams. And it's awkward to share it with people because, right, when are you going to admit this? But when we let our guards down, it's really interesting to find out how many of us are experiencing similar things if we're really listening and we're open to it. That's nice.